I don't know much about your upbringing, but I surmise that the reason for your attitude towards earthly authority is similar to the reason for your attitude towards heavenly authority. If I may be so bold as to play devil's advocate for a minute, let's say you're from an upper middle class, safe, secure suburb. You've probably never been the victim of crime, never really had any use for the police except for when someone puts a ding in your bumper in the parking lot at Burger King. Be honest with yourself. Your freedoms, your way of life, your ideas, your personal safety, and most of all your life have never really been threatened. For this reason, you cannot understand the concept of trading freedom for security, because you have no use for security as you obviously already feel secure. Secure enough to be willing to stoke the fires of absolute hatred in front of potentially millions of people a day for your own amusement. It takes somebody with an absolute insouciance towards their own well-being to be able to do that. Let's continue pretending all of this is true and talk about the subject of religion. Let's say things were pretty much normal for you throughout school. Maybe you got teased because you were overweight, had glasses, and thought differently than the rest of the kids, just like everyone else who makes antisocial videos online. But as far as socioeconomic status, your family having enough to make ends meet, and your personal life, things were most likely peachy keen. You do well in school, move on to college, do well there, and everything just falls into place just the same as it always has. Of course, if you grew up in this kind of a reality, there would be no reason for you to have faith in a higher power. It would be entirely unnecessary for you to rely on anybody or anything to pull you through. After all, you are the self-proclaimed greatest person ever. God is yet another authority figure trying to stand in your way and take away your personal freedoms. You have had no need for security, so you do not value security, be it temporal or everlasting. Those who seek security through police are unpatriotic and un-American social parasites who muddle through a separate reality that does not affect yours. So when something is done to aid them via extending the powers of law enforcement, you think only of yourself in the hypothetical, but mostly entirely fanciful, invasion of your own security. Again, this extends to your views on religion. You have probably not had much of a need for belief in a higher power, so you automatically reject it, as would, for example, a hockey player to a pair of soccer cleats. Nothing threatens your comfort except in your own mind. I believe the police are about as likely to ever really oppress you as you believe that God is to descend from the sky and invite you to a clam bake. Religion, as you have stated yourself in your response to that guy who you laughed at for saying shit in his video, rarely if ever crosses your mind. Have you ever thought of why that may be? Could it be that you've been, dare I say, blessed to have been able to grow up in a world where you feel so safe that there is no need whatsoever for faith in anything except your textbooks? If you bother to reply to this video, please fill me in on what your upbringing was like. If you grew up a slum kid bouncing back and forth from foster home to foster home, or had a mother who was on methamphetamine and would beat you daily with her shoe, then I am willing to blow this entire argument out my ass. It's just a thought that occurred to me from watching a well-fed, well-educated, articulate, blonde, white, college boy with no scars on his face expressing his opinions with such vigor. Until soon, NPX.